Welcome to the 10th stream of Control. Okay, as you remember last time, we heard that Tommasi was back, so I thought it'd be fun to start things off to go kill him. Does that sound like fun to you? Of course it does. You should be here somewhere.
There you are.
Does his dodge have like energy or cooldown on it like mine does? I wonder. What a forklift right to the face. Would that ruin your day? I bet it would. Come back. My energy regenerated. Holy crap! You see that? Wait, sudden death in this mission. Dude. Alright, dead. Oh, piss off. Yeah, that's what I need, are people hucking explosives at me now. That'd be funny if the guy blew himself up with his own grenade. Oh, piss off. Almost got him, almost. What was I aiming at? Ha 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 ha!
I guess the Bureau should start looking for a new head of communications.
I guess so. Taking resumes. Sterling summary. A paranatural object appeared in a field outside of town in Sterling, Colorado, near a billboard advertising redacted. No civilians were injured, though a family dog had been reported missing since the event. Local authorities arrived on the scene and began issuing orders over a monitored line of communication using several watchwords flagged by the Bureau. Bureau agents from the regional office were dispatched and arrived 2 hours later. After local police, the situation was contained and analysis began. Bureau research staff arrived the next day and examined the object. After redacted days of evaluation, the object was lifted into an enclosed truck with built-in black rock panels and relocated to Bureau headquarters via the subway transit system leading into the oldest house. That dog that went missing, is that the dead dog that got mailed here they were talking about in the other letters? One guy got the dog and the other guy had to go through all the teeth. There's gotta be more, I mean, boss fight like that. Sterling supplement. Local witnesses report a bright flash at the field, approximately redacted. No noise accompanied the light. Authorities had assumed the object fell from the sky, but our examination on the object actually manifested there, vaporizing the soil around an intense spherical redacted. Possibly explains the light seen from the town. The object is a hollow sphere made of stone-like material. Structural analysis of the material does not redact it on record. The sphere has a broken portion, as if something redacted from the object. The object has been inactive since arriving at the Bureau. The Communications Department officially stated to the press that the object was a small meteor, while also using a America Overnight program to redact it. Note, this AW will be studying the containment sector until spherical object is deemed safe to be transferred to the investigation sector.
You're listening to America Overnight, now in our 29th year, lifting the veil between fiction and reality. Thank you for staying up with us. I've been getting a lot of calls about this meteor in Sterling, Colorado. There were reports of a large spherical container that crash landed in a field outside town. Some government people reportedly took it away. Now, we happen to broadcast from Colorado, and Sterling isn't far. I drove down myself to check it out with members of the America Overnight team. I don't need to tell you, it wasn't long before we found pieces of metal debris scattered in a field. Listeners, this is yet another instance of an unidentified flying object, or UFO, entering our airspace and crashing. That the government took away the evidence under cover of darkness only compounds the fact that these are more than likely visitors from beyond our planet, or dare I say, solar system. Head on over to our website to see pictures of the spacecraft pieces we uncovered. And while you're doing that, our sponsors would like your ear. America Overnight will be right back.
Speaking of sponsors, why don't you go sub to my Patreon since you're watching?
Need something? I took care of the Tommasi problem. Sorry, I forget he was a coworker.
Don't apologize. That wasn't the real Tommasi. He died when the hiss got him.
You're right. I just didn't want to be insensitive.
Sentimentality is a weakness in situations like these, Jesse. That's Bureau 101.
I don't think Emily's in danger of being called sentimental.
All right. Good studying Dylan.
Have you learned anything about Dylan's condition?
Only that he's definitely hiss, but I guess his chanting made that pretty obvious. You know, interestingly, the words of the hiss incantation have an average length of 4 letters. The most common word used 7 times is want. The next most common are through and time. It's very interesting, don't you think?
I don't care about the words. What about my brother?
Right. Sorry, I got a little off track. Well, strangely, his tissue samples all look healthy, unlike the other hiss I've tested.
That's good news. Right? I should get going.
Don't let me hold you up.
He floats and speaks in the third person, but his tissues are healthy. Oh, a bunch of work for me here.
They
Up to the
are very
points.
good listeners. You can tell them, you need to scrap that clean or there goes my reputation and honor. And then the good won't swing. More of it. This thing is completely leaving from the mitten. Perkele. Saatana. Helvetin helvetti. Oma tulossa ja tällaista paskaa.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to 2 ability points. You see that, folks? It was worth it. So to recap, I had to turn the lights on. I bought in the lucky fish from out there. There was a 4-leaf clover that I had to bring in here from out there. I turned on these little physics ball things. I put the horseshoe right there. And I turned on the waving kitty over here. Oh, that was a fun little puzzle, wasn't it? Let's never speak of it again. Let me in there. Dr. Elling, I feel I must inform you of the very questionable documentation I am seeing from Adriel's desk. She clearly has no concept what mold is. She claims there are microorganisms responsible for constructing the mold. Ridiculous. It's a rapidly growing fungus not dissimilar to kudzu. It's fabricating complexities justify your absurd budget demands. Speaking of which, I find it interesting. An old friend of yours gets her budget approved with no questions asked. Or if the Operations Oversight Committee would be interested to learn of that. First estimation, Dr. Abrams. This is new, isn't it? Camera procedures. Per careful mandates 8A, this document has been edited to meet current administrative standards. Certain terminology may be out of date. A method for suppressing the items with dermatological effect is yet known to prevent infection. Wear proper safety gloves when handling. The item is a wooden mallet from High Striker carnival game. A long wooden handle extends from its head. The item infects any organic material with unknown disease. On making physical contact, the effects disease are similar to leprosy, but develop at a much faster rate. Within a matter of days, tissue lost to limbs closest to the point of infection. While the disease itself has not claimed any lives, secondary infection resulted in numerous deaths. It's like AIDS. Very nice, boys. Give me all your astral blips and bloops now. No, they're still. What else you got for me here?
It's done. It's just one large-scale HRA. It's an easy choice, no choice. It's there now. Protecting the most important thing. Someone's coming. I'll be there inside. Locked. Ready to be blown away. Ready for the journey. To be blown flying into the world. Ready to see. To understand.
If you want to do science, you need to put on some pants. Uh-huh.
Your chlorophyll really brings out the green in your leaves. That's all of them. But I kind of wish there were more. They're good listeners.
Not as good as a pet rock.
If Darling's notes are correct.
I just stepped out. You guys are responding on me. I seduced him with my feminine wiles. Hello?
I should slow it down.
I feel this outfit is golden suit. I mean, we did earn it, didn't we? It's completely impractical, so why not? Gotta show it off.
Good luck out there.
Darkness engulfed the elevator. There was something there, reaching for her, trying to make her act. It was a distress call. Faden sensed a drowning man, a hunger in the dark. Investigation sector.
Investigation sector, huh? We should check this out.
It was Alan Wake. Are we in one of his stories? Is what this game is? Investigation sector it is. You know, there were Easter eggs, but I didn't realize we were playing an actual Alan Wake game.
Hello? Anyone here? Guess not.
Missing agents. Mr. Kirkland, your latest agents confirmed missing, presumed dead from the containment breach yesterday. John Carter, Ezra Cruz, Caroline Dempsey, Linda Malcolm, Charles Murray, Derek Shaw. Letters of condolence will be delivered you to sign prior to sending them their families. You will be updated as soon as additional confirmations are made. Also, per your request, the network engineer checked out how many cases were backed up digitally. Fortunately, a large number of active investigations were not archived yet. Only hard copies of reports exist behind Firebreak. They're lost, I'm afraid.
It seems a lot more crowded than the rest of the bureau.
What does that mean? Case inquiry. Mr. Dennis, a request came through recently from an FBI agent asking for all our files on Bright Falls, specifically on the disappearance of the author, Alan Wake. Per the Interagency Information Exchange Agreement, I had some paper pushers gather up a folder of all the pre-approved files. Don't worry, all the inappropriate material is either missing or redacted. I'm writing to let you know that I received a request from a special agent named Alex Casey. Sounds familiar, right? That's because Alex Casey is the name of a fictional detective in those hard-boiled crime books Alan Wake wrote. Pretty interesting that an FBI agent sharing a name with the most famous character Wake wrote is looking into a case dealing with a writer's fiction coming true. And this is worth looking into. What's your opinion? Just give the word and I'll start surveillance on this guy. Special Investigator Gleason. Darling investigation. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation was launched into the ethical practices of Dr. Casper Darling, head of research, despite the accounts of anonymous redacted regarding inhumane treatment of a redacted currently housed in the Bureau. Our official findings regarding this were inconclusive. Numerous obstacles arose during this investigation. The majority of redacted sector personnel seem to be wholly unaware of any such redacted contained there. When redacted confirmed the redacted's codename to be redacted, but all files pertaining to that name were inaccessible. Being classified under the highest clearance level, investigators were similarly blocked from entering the redacted research wing to interview its staff. The matter was further complicated by the lack of clarity on whether non-human paranatural entities warrant humane treatment. While the investigation cannot address any charges against Dr. Darling, we do recommend an investigation into redacted research. So redacted is redacted. Actor supplement. This communication led to a local coroner examining the body of William Burrow. A summary: 33-year-old man found dead on his property per police report. Remains obtained from coroner's office also include blood, urine, bile, stomach contents, and bone fragments. Blunt force injuries to the head, lacerations, blunt force injuries extremities, dislocation right knee, complete avulsion of right upper extremity, associated fracture of proximal right humerus, extensive trauma to abdominal region, complete avulsion of multiple organs including stomach, heart, liver, pancreas, kidneys, and portions of large and small intestine, all missing from scene. Conclusion: in my opinion, Mr. Burrow's death is not the result of a mechanical accident, and authorities, removal of organs is consistent with an animal attack. Is that a reference to that tractor battle in Allen Lake? Resignation letter. To whom it may concern, it is my great anger and regret that I tender resignation of Head of Investigation, Bureau of Control. I do this to protest the rampant disregard for my department's redacted. Staff cannot continue to work in these conditions. Previous requests and warnings have fallen to deaf ears, so I must now rely on action to speak louder than my words ever could. I blame the situation on our redacted, who has routinely ignored my requests for assistance, reclaiming parts of the investigation sector lost to the redacted. Loose inside. I will never forget the screams of brave agents begging for us to open the fire break. Carry that shame for the rest of my days. The redacted has failed his agents. I shall never forgive him for that. Sincerely, William Kirkland. Staffing issue, Mr. Dennis. So yes, there's an increase in AWE cases, and yes, it would be a good idea to put together a special task force to examine exactly why that is. However, it seems that a tiny detail has slipped through the cracks. We don't have the damn staff. You expect us to detect, investigate, and process more AWE cases. You need to give us more people. It's a simple math between the staff we lost in Hartman thing and the ones who left us for other departments after Kirkland quit. We're barely managing to keep up the workload. Hell, just filling the paperwork for all the altered items we left behind the sector has been an ordeal. Another thing, and this is going to sound paradoxical, but we have an overcrowding situation. The lobby isn't meant to accommodate a whole sector's worth of staff. We put forward a motion to move investigators to a more suitable location months ago. It's better not still to be on your desk. People are getting restless, and as Kirkland's interim replacement, it's your job to handle it. Regards, Agent Grayson. Bulgin Lake update. Chief Investigator Dennis, it has happened again. Third time this year, somebody certainly is out for our redacted. Could raccoons? The locals certainly complain about them enough. Why the hell would raccoons keep going after monitoring station? Doesn't add up. Anyway, I've got the Bureau Tech going to the site next week to take a look. Next on the list, recurring problems is the staff at Lake House Research Station. How am I supposed to effectively keep an eye on redacted? Lake, if they won't let me see the data. Hell, I don't even know what they're researching out there. You petition them again to share info with investigations agents. It's only a matter of time before this redacted hits again. I want to be prepared. Anyway, if anyone at HQ asks why Bright Falls report is a little thin this month, tell them it's because we couldn't take any readings. In the meantime, I investigate some raccoon traps. Sincerely, Agent Estevez. Director Investigation. For authorization, Mr. Kirkland, Redacted, was launched into the Redacted of Director Zachary Trench. A recent change in Redacted witnessed Director Trench, including aggressive Redacted when Redacted. Other staff has been observed, where this investigation is aimed at interpreting the issue rather than improving it. Notable Redacted between Director Trench and Dr. Darling has been witnessed. Numerous Bureau staff, although both declined to meet for an interview on the matter, and this account suggests the arguments center on the Dimensional Research Wing and the Redacted kept inside. However, no evidence exists to confirm Dr. Trench's Redacted as anything more than interpersonal disagreements. This investigation has concluded that Director Trench's behavior is not indicative of any Redacted, and that his fitness to lead is not in question for the file or report. And he's perfectly fine. He just blew his brains out for the fun of it. Official warning. Kirkland, I'm growing tired of your blatant attempts to lay your competence at my doorstep. I know you want this to be true. You're head of investigations. This failure is your responsibility. Why did you think this would happen? Holding a dangerous specimen in investigations? The containment sector exists for a reason. They're better trained and better equipped for this type of work. In fact, they have admirably taken on certain A-degree minor responsibilities that your staff are no longer capable of. This happens more and more now. Don't think your petty internal investigations have gone past my notice. You were a worm. Everything I've done has been for the benefit of the Bureau. The prime candidate program only failed because of Darling. Both failures plotting against me. You are traitors, but the truth will emerge out of you. You're choosing to become my enemy, Kirkland. You don't want to be. Zachary Trench, Director, Federal Bureau of Control. Underhill background. Dr. Ray Underhill is professor, University of Woodrow in the United Kingdom, where she teaches biology with a focus on botany. Dr. Underhill once worked at the Bureau as a parabotanist, stationed in the research sector of the oldest house. She served with no incidents or demerits and is praised by those who formerly worked with her, including Dr. Darling. Dr. Underhill has no known connections to paracriminal organizations or a record of breaching her NDA since leaving the Bureau. Her civilian behavior has been ideal. The exception of ongoing personal relationship with Dr. Darling appears to have begun during their time as co-workers in the research sector and revisited intermittently ever since. Depending on the duration of her work, the oldest house may be required to have both parties sign a relationship clearance form. This investigation has found no compelling reason to deny Dr. Darling's request to offer Dr. Handel an interim position with the aim of finding a solution to the mold threshold issue. He was dipping his pen in the company ink, as they say. You did pasta? That's a new one. Like a boss. Ethics investigation. For authorization, Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation was launched into the legality of prime candidate program redacted by Federal Bureau of Control. That's all known subjects relevant to investigation used executive privilege to decline interviews. Very little first-hand information was gathered. However, anonymous sources and documentation declassified Mr. Kirkland both paint an alarmingly clear picture of systemic redacted, were brought into the oldest house and placed under redacted examination and testing with the aim of appointing one as director upon maturity. The program has produced successful cases and only resulted in dramatic redacted of paranaturally inclined redacted. Not only this breach of the Ash Act, but files in the face of basic human redacted. The investigation team unequivocally redacted the prime candidate program and recognized it to be redacted immediately. Tractor procedures. Item not in Bureau custody, not known. Frank Elk tractor, olive green, tried blood on grill on last scene. Item capable of vocalized response or growls. Unmanned locomotion, considered highly aggressive and dangerous. Item was first came Bureau's attention after the death of William Burrow, owner of Burrow Farm outside Trenton, Texas. Local authorities arrived at the scene after an employee found mutilated body of Mr. Burrow beneath his tractor. We survived, but were immediately driven away by the tractor. Panic calls federal authorities intercepted by the Bureau. Communications staff, a team was dispatched. On arrival, the agents approached the item. They responded growling like a bear. 3 agents were injured when they tried to detain the item, which escaped. Aerial searches of the item are ongoing. Speaking to Mr. Burrow only revealed that she had a domestic altercation with Mr. Burrow earlier that night of the incident. These events are connected and currently unknown. I see what I gotta do.
Now that gate should open.
Specimen escape assessment. The purpose of internal investigation is to examine the containment failure of specimen SI1 that resulted in the deaths of agents. Inspection report containment equipment 3 days earlier showed no faults. Investigators suspect human error to be the cause. The department has provided evidence to support this. Technicians were able to recover the researchers' notes on the specimen from the internal network. On the redacted, the specimen began displaying sharp increase in aggressive redacted. Cross-referencing that date with various logs found only 2 events inconsistent with the sector's daily routine. The fire filters were changed, and, hour prior to the incident, a civilian named Alice entered the sector regarding an unrelated investigation. Given their connection to the same Eddie Reed case, it's likely that Mrs. presence is relevant to the specimen's escape and to the redacted's investigation unknown. Alice in Wonderland? Claim this control point in the name of Spain.
I'm no detective, but something definitely happened here.
What gave you that idea? Blessed organization. The group individual has operated outside Bureau's notice for decades, perhaps longer, displaying a level of skill and caution rarely seen in paracriminal groups. A review of past cases has found various mentions of their activity over the years. In 2016, a production company called Blessed Pictures was connected to an altered item case, as well as the death of an agent exposure to illicit paranatural materials. In 1994, a Los Angeles-based public speaker named Chester Bless was involved in the illegal use of altered item. 1988, a business called Blessed Repair and Service was suspected involvement object of power case, perhaps even creating it. None of these businesses or individuals have ever been located. However, their connection to appearance or altered items and objects of power is too direct to be considered circumstantial. An arrest order has been issued for any persons believed to be involved with the Blessed organization. Back to the hotel, eh?
Do we know each other? This feels familiar. I can't seem to... I've forgotten it. I'm sorry. My name is Alan Wake. Who are you? Who are you? Do I know you?
I'm your friend Tom. Tom Zane. There's nothing to worry about.
Tom. The poet. The diver. You look different.
That was just a role. A character. The protagonist I played in my old film. I'm a filmmaker. An auteur like yourself. We're working on this together, remember? An artistic collaboration. You need a drink.
Smooth.
Endless darkness. Nothing holds still.
But we're very close now. You've been writing. I found a way to escape. It'll work this time.
Writing?
You found a way!
No. I don't... Wait. There's something. It's my double. He's out there. I've seen him.
Yeah. Nothing to worry about. I'm dealing with it. It's fine, my friend. Let me handle him.
You've met him? What the hell?
Now, come on. You misunderstand me.
That was the Alan Wake? The famous writer? He disappeared years ago. It was all over the news back then. And Thomas Zane was with him. The poet. No, wait. He was a filmmaker. I always remember that wrong.
Was he? Service, please. Oh. Okay. That's a little bit peckish. Let's turn everything on, everything off. With the key.
Dr. Emil Hartman, devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman. Broke loose, killed everyone it could, lurking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came. A resonance. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
Did he become a boss fight by any chance? It's Brokestadid.
Creepy, damp, and abandoned. Why did Wake want me to come here? That doesn't look like a house shift. Do I even want to know?
We gotta know. A treasure vault. Other control point already? Alright. I'll take it.
Of course, the Hiss are already in here.
Of course, the Hiss are everywhere, lady. I'm paying attention. Hartman arrest. Galen, Tor, Anderson. Well, those are the guys that were in Old Gods of Asgard. Having involved individuals, sanctions against polarizations, obstruction of Bureau investigation, breaching Ash Act, vendor's property seized as evidence to be used in conjunction with ongoing AWU investigation. There's personal effects have been sent to research for analysis. Being cleared by Bureau researchers, all victims have been released. Biannual surveillance orders were assigned to each except Anderson brothers, due to their senility and wake, possibly deceased.
Whoa. Looks like the house has gotten a little wild in here.
The house always wins, you know. Foot gossip. My feet gossip at night, now I have to wear shoes to bed. Sincerely me. A wacky. Powerful light. Powerful light.
This darkness is blocking the door. So now I have to deal with an interdimensional noise and sentient shadows.
I'm afraid so. Burn. Burn.
Turns it away, huh? Makes sense.
The third thing. The sound made darker, the darkness made louder. Hartman was stretched, like a worm through time. The third thing was a monster. Now we crashed out of darkness toward Faden.
Eagle Limited Summary. A train derailment resulting in 62 casualties and numerous injuries was suspected to have been the work of paracriminal group known as redacted. As a result of the event, the agents discovered that one of the cars had become altered with a persistent auditory event. It remains to be determined whether the AWE was spontaneous or a direct result of sabotage. The Bureau has been tracking the said group at the time, and the intel gathered suggested in the event the Excalibur was imminent to Bloomington. As a result, the response team was on site able to respond to a train accident within minutes of occurrence. They arrived to find the emergency process underway, but also equipment left behind the suspected group. A suspicious onlooker managed to elude agents after they attempted to make contact. Further investigation of the accident site revealed a curiously undamaged train car that exhibited an altered state when entered. The individual car was secured and transported to the investigating sector for further studies. The Shadow. Shadow Nose. Paranatural entity, aka the Shadow, is an aggressive redacted consisting of 3 known types. Localized manifestation of sentient redacted, capable of occupying organic and inorganic material as well as exerting redacted over surroundings. Shaded individuals. Human bodies redacted by the Shadow. These individuals become notably more aggressive, but do seem to retain redacted of their previous selves. Research is ongoing as to whether the condition is reversible. Shaded objects, similar to Type B, except inanimate objects are redacted solely to be used as destructive tools. Each type seems to work towards a shared goal, possibly targeting certain individuals. May imply a shared link to a redacted intelligence. Red entity poses warrants immediate investigate and exploration of offensive-defensive measures. The investigation sector is being outfitted with additional lighting sources, some internally powered, therefore the eventuality of a redacted. Internally powered, as in batteries, right?
My understanding of the darkness is fragmented, incomplete. This abyss, this void, it very much does not wish to be understood. If light symbolizes knowledge, then it stands to reason that darkness would equate to ignorance. By its very nature, it abhors comprehension. Of course, my own nature drives me to comprehend all. We are opposing forces, destined to collide. And given this conflict of natures, we know that the light of truth will burn away the darkness, both figuratively and literally. Any significant light source can be used as protection, even weaponry against this metaphysical gloom. And then there are the artists. I know for a fact that Tom, Wake, the Anderson brothers, and Lane all had some involvement with the darkness. The question is whether their uncanny ability to affect reality through their art beckons the darkness, or did their work perhaps even create it? With Wake now secure in my lodge, I expect I shall grow closer to learning the answers to these questions. Assuming he cooperates, which is proving quite the challenge. Well, perseverance is the foundation of knowledge. Speaking of, I must be off on my rounds.
Yes. That group, I'm going to need that here. The show started. Those silly ghosts yanking me in here. Tell me everything you know. Get him, I got money riding on this. Black market. Black market hubs specialize in the trade of occult talismans, relics, and other sordid ceremonial objects, as well as genuine, altered, and paranatural materials. Was raided in redacted Czech Republic by a team of special investigators. Unsuccessful attempts by suspects to escape using altered items resulted in numerous casualties and prevented the Bureau from questioning all participants. Following interrogation revealed that not only is there a vast network of these retailers, but there seem to be on gathering information on altered items of paranatural materials, source known as Bureau. The Bureau's concern is threefold: a growing underground market for paranatural materials, which implies growing awareness of their existence among a niche group of general public. These criminal individuals do not seem aware of the item's paranatural powers, and their attempts to activate them could prove devastating within populated areas. The motivations of these collectors are largely unknown. Interrogation complaint. Kirkland, so you put me on desk duty just because I did the thing I was fucking hired to do in my job? What do I want to call that? Bullshit. Asking us to interrogate the scum without using words like altered items, AWEs, or pure criminal is the stupidest thing I've heard in my life, and I've heard some fucking stupid things. They already know the facts. Hell, they'll just know as much as us, if not more, and they'll get to sit there laughing at us. We dance around words, try not to leak classified terminology. They already know the fucking terminology. If you think pulling me off the case will stop me, then think again. A piece of shit blew up those tracks. He killed these people, all to make a train turn altered. You have him dead to rights, and you need me to let back interrogation so I can get him to flip on his buddies. People are terrorists, and deserve to be treated as such. They won't stop unless we stop them. Go ahead and put me on suspension, see if that slows me down. Agent Hewitt.
Agent Fisher, day 6 inside the motel. Utilized surveillance methods are as follows: fiber optic cameras slid under the individual room doors, motion detectors in the lobby area, tripwire triggering a flash camera across the main entrance, even fingerprint powder on the front desk. Results are varying at best, but mostly just inconclusive and unusable. The footage is corrupted. Sometimes even the equipment is damaged. I don't know how exactly. I think this place is making fun of me. That's the only explanation. I can hear them laughing and screaming behind the closed doors. I can hear the call bell go and ding multiple times a day, but when I look, there's no one there. I know I'm supposed to stay out of sight, but I've seen the doors closing just before I can catch even a glimpse of anyone or anything. They're messing with me, whoever they are. I think... Wait, shh. There's something. I gotta get this. Gotta get the cable out. Come on, you fiber optic fuck, cooperate. Okay, there we go.
That it?
Alright, that was faint, but I definitely heard movement coming from the hallway. I think I might have finally caught one. Ha! The recording better work this time, or I swear to God I'm... What? Hello? Who's there? Oh, shit. I'm with the FBC. Move away from the door. I have a... Where's my...
What? more? Another one?
Reminder, all employees are required to report their hours at the end of each month. The Federal Bureau of Control maintains that time is not subjective, and hours passed on alternative planes cannot be claimed.
What?
Astral dives do not accumulate overtime compensation. Thank you for your attention.
That's outrageous. You could like spend a year in an alternate reality and only get paid for like 8 hours. NASA cooperation. Following NASA FBC coordination agreement in 1972, the Bureau has provided NASA with numerous technological advancements based on our research, including BlackRock line now funding spacefaring vessels. In return, all data gathered during space missions is made available to Bureau research and analysis. Recently, certain individuals have raised concern this relationship does not adequately benefit the Bureau, either intellectually or financially. A thorough examination of the costs accrued by both organizations has shown the expense of NASA's recent launch of the redacted far outweigh any spending related to procedures delivery of BlackRock from its medium Earth orbit. The redacted will provide the Bureau unparalleled for remotely monitoring, photographing and sites, a resource that would be lost if partnership ends. The opinion of the committee is maintaining a cooperative relationship with colleagues at NASA of high importance. They faked the moon landings, didn't they? I'll just...
I don't feel right. Something in this darkness is draining me.
Darkness imprisoning me. Fucking light, you think? There's a battery over there. Is there anywhere to put it?
Shit. Now
Oops.
what? What is that? Come on, elevator, time to go! So you don't like the light? I can use that. Nothing even touches it.
Enough until we can powers. Put it in there to see. Well, that's why I couldn't reach them, because they're behind there. Okay. Okay, now we're thinking. Procedures. No. Testing investigation section are ongoing. Vending machine. Its front covered in a faux wooden panel. Coin-operated buttons for selecting food products. Item generates and stores variety of material, both edible and otherwise. It's rows of journal trays. Initial testing suggests the item reacts to the mind's individual closest proximity and will produce whatever subconsciously desire. Attempts to cause the item to create a living redacted have consistently failed. Item was discovered in a nursing home in Redacted, Alberta. A resident named Muriel Redacted called local news station with a magic vending machine. The news story reported nursing home staff was purposely stocking the machine with distinctive food and objects to raise resident spirits. Bureau response team encouraged the story while confiscating the item. Where can I get me one of those? Crouching tiger, hidden dragon. That's what we are. Been a long stream, hasn't it? Wait a minute, what's this? Heading up here?
Okay, this room is really intimidating and all, but I know my rights. It's not a crime to try and get a book signed.
Making unauthorized contact with a dangerous paranatural entity is indeed a Bureau offense, Mr. Langston, and can be prosecuted as such.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that. Listen, this is being blown way out of proportion. All that happened is I heard Dr. Hartman brought in, and since I'm a huge Alan Wake fan, I thought it'd be cool to get a copy of The Creator's Dilemma signed. That's a book that Hartman wrote about.
We know what it is.
Okay, good. So yeah, I was just looking to fill out my Wake collection. I certainly didn't know Hartman had turned into some kind of shadow zombie.
That's a completely inaccurate description.
Whatever, listen, I'm just a desk jockey. I sort papers, do data entry, that kind of stuff. Don't come down on me like this. I made one mistake. I mean, I see people break the rules all the time and no one is pulling them into dark rooms to yell at them. Yesterday, Dave Gleason and his crew were talking to that empty spacesuit and laughing their heads off.
We're letting you off with a warning, Mr. Langston. But this is going on your record, so one more screw-up and our next chat won't be so friendly.
Great. That is just great to hear, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, is there any chance I could get my copy of The Creator's Dilemma back?
Get out.
A couple off? What's this motherfucker? Oh, already started? After this? Dr. Mill Hartman is an academic psychotherapist that owned and operated every center in redacted Washington, focused on treatment of artists struggling with creative blocks and other mental disorders. Publicly, Dr. Hartman Treatment Center seemed unremarkable in its methods and purpose. Privately, however, Dr. Hartman was abusing his patients in order to utilize any latent redacted abilities he may possess, the aim of shaping redacted to his own benefit, which is in Class 2 paracriminal designation. More link between artists and their ability to redacted reality through artistic mediums. See file. Investigations proven Dr. Hartman's illegal endeavors were conducted alone. After being approached by the Bureau during the redacted investigation, he displayed no remorse or intention to cease his actions. Dr. Hartman was taken into custody, evaluated, and released. Months later, having deemed a negligible threat, his medical license had been permanently revoked. I bet. Harsh Messiah now, Hartman.
Yeah, how do you like that?
I know all kinds of things up on these shelves, aren't there? Appearance. Excursion at Oceanview Motel and Casino discovered a previously unseen door in the lobby hallway. Door featured a spiral shape marking similar to the other doors. As locked could not be forced open. Alan Wake, a person of interest in Bright Falls AWE. The former wife of missing author Alan Wake, suspected paratrilitarian, contracted Agent Shaw Dempsey of the investigation sector and their phone number given to her in 2010 in accordance with civilian outreach protocols. The call resulted in Mrs. Wake being brought into the oldest house and in-person interview. The excursion into the Ocean Motel occurred that same day. Determining whether this is a basic synchronicity event, if Alice Wake is to be responsible for its appearance, the door itself relates to 8/35 is paramount. Be returned to the oldest house, possibly even taken to the motel itself to confirm if any other changes occur.
Brian Hennerman, 21 years old, resident of Southern Texas.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I really don't understand why I'm here.
You know what you did, Mr. Hennerman.
I do?
Tell me about Delivery Disaster.
The movie? I mean, it wasn't very good.
That's not what your review said, but we'll come back to that. Tell me where you got the movie from.
Movie night with a K, not an N, not night like nighttime, but...
Who contacted you? Who told you to review that film?
No one. I just did it because it looked obscure. I didn't even like the movie. I shouldn't have given such a high score, but reviewing obscure films makes you look smart. And I thought if I looked smart, I would get listeners. My podcast would take off and I could move out of my parents' basement. I may even go to college and get a film degree like I've always wanted to. I swear. I swear, I swear, I swear.
Okay, the kid doesn't know shit. I'm ending the session.
Who's the elevator now?
Ma'am, what are you doing in investigations?
Jesus, don't scare me like that, Langston.
If you're talking right now, I can't hear you. It's a one-way system. Try to find an intercom.
Intercom.
Langston, it's me, Jesse.
I know. I can see you on the monitors. The cameras in there haven't worked since we sealed that sector off a couple years back.
Let me guess. You sealed it because of the monster guy.
Wait, did you see Dr. Hartman? Jesus, I really wish you hadn't opened that fire break. Okay, listen, you need to find Hartman and kill him before he gets out into the Bureau.
That thing is a person?
He was a person. We brought him here to study after he was, altered in an AWE. I forget the medical word for what happened, but now light physically hurts him. Do you have a flashlight?
No.
A lantern? Headlamp? Oh yeah, flare gun. Oh, Christmas lights. You could wrap them around your...
I don't have any of those, Langston.
Shit. Okay, well, I'm sure you'll think of something. I'll keep an eye on you from the panopticon. This is kind of exciting, right?
Maybe from where you're standing.
Right, okay. Well, break a leg. Oh, why did I say that?
Okay, this Hartman thing can't have gotten very far. Let's go flush him out. Langston was right. This is kind of exciting.
It's just nice to have someone to talk to, you know?
The thing with Christmas lights, that's what Alan's agent did. Wrapped himself in Christmas lights.
For wanting to work with altered items. People just don't understand the Anyway, as I was saying, it's just nice to have someone to talk to, you know? Ever since I got put in charge of the Panopticon, people treat me different, like I'm crazy for wanting to work with altered items. People just don't understand the altered items like I do, you know? I don't want to brag, but it does take a very empathetic mind to connect with the items. Still, I don't know why people are making it so personal.
Right.
I mean, the teams in research handle paranatural materials every day, and no one thinks they're weird. Well, maybe that's not true. Darling is famous for being a bit out there, but when he's weird, it's charming. Altered items really aren't that frightening once you get to know them. If you figure out what they like or don't like, you know, what sets them off, then there's nothing to worry. I guess at the end of the day, we're still just wild animals scared of our own shadows. We're supposed to be on the same...
You're curious around for nothing, are you? Here's page 2. Dark screen is full of dangerous red. Fades away as you two men are in their dimension. The ray ripples around us there in the 1993 plane Firebird. Trans Am sitting at Texas Sun after a 5-day road trip. You're done. You've doomed us. Control yourself, Doctor. It's a beast of yours. Horrible, shapeless, shifting entity fills our horizon. Can't be described. That's how horrible it is. What a thing of beauty you've been keeping from me. Also do that chore for Otley one here. AW.
Lots of dark corners to hide in. Okay, let's get the lights on and clear him out.
Oh, go ahead. Right in the fucking way. Unbelievable. I can't fucking move. Where is he? All this does.
Where's it running off to now?
Eagle in the subunit. Bureaus gathered concrete evidence of the train derailment was in fact work of a criminal group known as the Actors, which according to Bureau's intel has shown a concerted interest in terms of fresh manufacturing of materials. Knowing the largely operates in the American Midwest, the Bureau worked alongside the FBI to ascertain the movements within the rendezvous locations. The operation provided agents with the information led to an arrest conjunct AWE case under suspicion of involvement. Brought in for questioning, interrogation from the agent, resulting in the suspect being kept in a holding cell for 2 days without food in breach of the Criminal Rights Act. Afterwards, the suspect confessed to be his involvement in the redacted group, provided information to other members in exchange for his freedom. He rolled over on them, did he? Get up here, Kenny. This specimen captured from the redacted Washington monitor station indicated minor redacted activity occurred in the area. Agent Estes was dispatched to investigate. Inside the redacted lodge, he discovered facility's former owner, Dr. Mel Hartman, had been converted into a shaded individual. Displayed violent behavior characteristics type. Agent Estes site research team with specimen's presence. Some difficulty was successfully in the Black Rock cell. Cells in his cabinet were transferred back to safely HQ. Specimen remains detained in the sector as part of the investigation. Oh, the Hiss Rangers. Airborne. Group Hiss Scorpion Rangers has manifested his ability to levitate, similar to Hiss elevated agents. The airborne Hiss Rangers displayed no technical abilities, and some can use mundane pure weaponry. Evolution being so similar to elevated possibly indicates Hiss can share permutations, or type of network, perhaps osmosis. Or the fact that this development of Hiss Rangers has only been observed in the investigation sector may indicate environmental factors responsible. Could be responding to an altered item or natural element found only in the sector. Perhaps this is natural progress of the Hiss Ranger phenotype. Not enough time has passed to determine inclusive trajectory of development in each of the Hiss manifestations, so any trajectory exists. Yellow paint, it's yellow sheets this time. Herbert Fisher got himself trouble at the motel. Why does any volunteer state that place give me the creeps? Hey, he came back, you call it that. I saw his footage and they pulled out there with him. The evidence. I mean, crazy stuff. Fisher had the camera pointed at himself all the time. I'm guessing he went nuts on day one. Did he catch something though? Get one of those fire up the cameras at the door of the room is hiding in and recorded something out of the hall. Like a shadow, maybe human. I tried to get the quality up, it's still blurry as fuck. From my position, stay the fuck out of the motel. Anyway, no schmum later. We still got an hour and 38 minutes yesterday. A record beat. That is. No point claimed. All right, folks. Well, it has been an incredibly long stream. We're going on almost 4 hours now. It's late where I am. So I wish you goodbye for now. Thanks for watching. I'm on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Twitch, TikTok, and Patreon. Come give me a watch. Bye bye for now.